this collage, and I hadn't even gotten to him yet because he was down in the bottom left-hand corner. I remember exactly where he was. And I clicked on one of the photos and I was downloading it and I was working on the collage. And about 10 minutes later, I went back to the page to grab the next photo and his was gone. I was like, wait, where'd he go?
Battery 40%. Connected to Bill's iPhone.
So that ends. It's always like that.
And guys, I mean, honestly, it may not be related. I seriously doubt MMTLP is not the first and not the last that him and GTS have mishandled. That's an understatement. It could be.
So good morning, everybody.
Maybe
I'm not a host. I'm just listening, but that's Junk Savvy.
Say something wrong in that, Ari Rubenstein.
She
Gotcha. Somebody's giving me an update saying I'm pretty sure he's living at mom.
She's got the Fizz,
maybe in the basement.
Curtis, Joanna.
Maybe he's doing a little day trading. The basement dwellers that do their day trading that they have.
Harry Dice.
Are actually roommates.
I'm just giving you names I recognize. Heidi.
Last guy.
Ari.
Let's do
Robin Steele. Rob L.
Doing a little trading.
I mean, she's got so many. I can't go through them all. But she's got a number of listeners. I'd say hundreds. Dollar Bill.
Anyway, guys, maybe we'll learn about
and
his.
I recommend listening to her in the morning. Here, let me turn this on.
Not only that, just
we'll put her quietly there in case something comes up. I just got back from Houston last night, and I look like I woke up with Angela Jolie. Just you don't even know who she is.
Curtis, of course, dropping a bomb on Monday.
Curtis, let's listen. Curtis
giving his speculation that we might hear from George Palikaris, former CEO.
This is for MMTLP and MMAT.
And who, of course, was the issuer of, well, that's debatable. But Metamaterials, of course, being
Curtis
the issuer of the preferred share dividend that potentially eventually became MMTLP. So, Curtis, if you have some thoughts,
let's listen to him briefly, and I'll
Twitter
look at your
feed this
messages.
morning. I'm not seeing anything recent, but who knows? Maybe he's got a YouTube video, guys. Do what you do best. Keep an eye and let us know. Let me get Lady Jonna a mic. Oh, Lady Jonna's already got a mic. Good morning, Jonna. Welcome to the mic.
She's got a voice for the movies.
Good morning. I think he's in witness protection.
And a face for the
Maybe.
movies.
There's going to be
and
a
voice
lot
for
of people
radio.
looking for that man.
Let's we can. Jonna's great, but I'm gonna just Curtis is who I thought would have something to say. Anyway, what I wanted to do this call for is for anybody in ZJYN, today's action this morning in the pre-market, the stock is trading at $10.36. It's up 16%, I guess. That doesn't make sense to me. It's up $2. Yeah, I guess that's right. It's up 16%. That's the bid. The volume's already 105,000 shares. So a couple of things. I wasn't live on Monday, wasn't live on Tuesday. I'm still alive. And this really looks interesting to me. It really looks like, maybe the good guys are going to get a run here. I'm embarrassed looking. I look like Charlie Chaplin or something with the hair. It's 9:13. My phone was dead all morning because I forgot to charge it. So as soon as it charges up a little bit, I will check in with All right, she's inviting me to speak, so maybe I'll speak a little bit to her if she wants me to.
Signatures and Matt was the letter
Because I
from
learned a little
public
bit on
until it
MMTLP.
goes to the board.
So we can
But we're
waste a
doing
little
it
minute.
in
We can waste a little
a,
bit of time
normal
here.
So letter to the board of directors with
Because the market hasn't opened yet.
signatures on it. So, we are kind of working on that in the background. We're giving.
I guess it doesn't go into that speaker, so. I don't understand why it wouldn't.
I am encouraging everyone, I haven't seen my proxy yet, from either of my brokerages, but the one brokerage that has put out proxies thus far is only showing their original share count, but not the Prep C votes that are assigned to
Well,
each of your
Anyway,
shares.
she may
So,
call
I'm
on me
gonna
to
be
say
asking
something,
clarity
so
from my
let me
brokerage, and investor relations on that, because I
just
wanna make
pay
sure
attention
everyone
to
knows
her.
that, Prep C shares vote for each of my
All right.
shares, based on the deadline,
Uh,
and how I'm gonna be able to make sure that my brokerage is voting on my behalf for those shares. So it looks like work from all sides, guys.
Hey,
Yeah, I was just gonna ask you, if there was an update on
Hey,
that.
Lou
We're
is
gonna
up
go ahead
early.
and
Good
post that
morning.
Announcement from Meta, about the voting at, yeah.
we'll see how long we can go this morning.
Somebody just did a trash can fire. I don't know. I think we're full blown dumpster at this point.
I'm
but,
skipping. I'm not
I mean,
reading
I'm still in
everybody.
it. I'm still.
Hey,
I'm
there's
still
Big
there.
JR. Ah, the sense
And
of humor.
honestly,
The sense
at
of
this point
humor.
makes no sense. I think we need to pressure them.
Big JR, when I go through,
and let
I
them know
lost
that
my, what do you call that?
And I still believe that
Pre-check
the
T or
resolution
something?
that MMTLP
Pre-check
is gonna cause and force more pressure
T.
on Canada.
Anyway, I lost, it expired. I didn't
So
realize it.
obviously,
So I
MMTLP is our focus and everything else, but a letter to the
re-upped
board
it.
and
But it
pressuring
takes, there's a
our board
delay
in terms of some of the
and
decisions
it could
they're
take
making,
weeks. It could be a
needs
couple
to
of
be done
days,
as
but
well.
anyway,
So we need to
I didn't
work
have
both sides.
my
We're
TS
not
pre-check
yet.
for this flight.
Sorry. Mr. Greg McCabe does not label us relentless for no reason. So.
Well, and I told people this
and
before, I'm sure.
When I go through those disruptors where you stand there and they go, I don't trust those. There's when I was studying Fukushima, there's a doctor out of Australia called Dr. Helen Caldicott. And in the middle of one of her lectures, she said, do not go through those things. They say they're safe, but they do something to your body. Of course, doesn't look like I'm ever going to have children, so it probably doesn't matter, but it affects something. Anyway, I don't go through them. So I always get there early and I ask to be patted down, and they make you hold your hands up forever. That made my arms tired. That's how out of shape I am.
So we're here every day, continuing to fight. So thank you for that, Jonna. Appreciate it. Guys, I believe I posted that meta up in the nest. Again, the deadline for casting your vote.
Here's Pilot. I loved the trip to Houston. It was the retirement of Danny Simmons, who is the CEO, president of Netherlands and Seoul. And it was really massively attended, but yet still felt like a close group. And Netherlands and Seoul has been around for 60 years. I don't ever remember meeting
yeah, I did see that we both.
I think it's Curtis.
But yeah, TD Ameritrade.
But I don't remember meeting the original founder, but I knew Fred Sewell and the other guys up there, and it was such a great
Like to join your state
uh,
and or a
time.
group. We have
I
several
also,
groups, the big ones
it
in
just made me
general.
feel back in
We
the
did just
game.
start
I
a
mean,
people group,
these are
like
people I've
last
known
week
for
on.
years,
We also
and
have a
unfortunately, a
training
lot of
group.
the
We have a
contacts I
training
have
squad,
are
a
either
fidelity,
retiring or
my
dead,
message on
but it's not quite
We have
that dire
Robin
yet.
Trade Station. Yeah.
But it was a fantastic
There's a
gathering
training group as
of
well.
bankers and research analysts, Netherlands, Sewell, oil people. I made some progress with one and investors with one guy on the Treno mine deal. I don't know if that'll go anywhere because I don't know if I'm really engaged in that, but that was positive. And of course, I asked everyone about Ora Grande, which,
about those ladies for administering those groups. So really,
believe it or not, I guess because we
Um,
were in
let's
Houston, I didn't know anything. They didn't know much
Oh
about
my guys, this AI stuff. I just
AI. All right.
it's amazing
Um,
what they do to manipulate
Hey,
things,
there,
but the faces that they can superimpose.
there's Ace.
I'm looking at what Greta
Is the
Thunberg
place
guys
for
say.
the
Oh my goodness, guys. Sorry, I was on my Twitter feed,
information.
so
That's a nice picture of you, Ace. You actually look handsome there. You are handsome. I'm not, but I like that picture. Whoever did it
Gonna go through the next, but you go ahead.
did
Yeah,
a
so,
great service to you.
Thanks.
Let's see
Two
what he's
things. I
saying.
saw Lowell take a mic. He had a mic. He had his hand up, and then he dropped down. But
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see it. Let me see the mic.
There seems to be
the Rarity D video. So if you go to my wall and scroll down,
taking too long to
see
get
that
to the
I
point.
put out some cool
I'm so unfair because I take my long time to get to my point too. I'm sensing on the reason I signed into this, I'm sensing in the case of MMTLP that I guess I can only speak about my own experience. E-Trade is lying to me, or they're dancing around the truth anyway. I have been unable to get my shares. I don't want to say delivered because that's going to take time. But I have been unable to have confidence that my shares are even in process. The last gentleman I spoke to claimed that there was no record that I had called in. I said, well, come on. I've called that you're the 6th time I've called in. And anyway, he read something to me from 2009 as a policy that Morgan Stanley will not send physical certificates to your home. They don't send physical certificates. They only DRS to the transfer agent in an account set up for you. And I said, you can do that? He said, yes, we can do that. I said, okay, that's fine if you can do that. I don't mind if they're at the transfer agent. I just want them registered in my name. And then I got off the phone and called a couple of people. And one person I spoke with, Anna, who I trust, she said, you can't DRS Nextbridge. And like an idiot, I went, oh, that's right. It's a private company. How could it be DRS? So I think they're out of stock. That's my belief. And I really encourage everyone to move their shares, even though it might mean that mine don't get moved. Let's see what she's saying. She's usually got something.
Who's Danny Jones?
Danny Jones. So
Danny
he had a
Jones.
podcast. He's down in Florida out of Tampa.
And
It was called.
That's not on topic. All right, we've only got 7 minutes for ZJYL. We're at 139,414 shares. The stock is up $1.50, 16.85%. Bid 1020, ask 1039. And at some point, this I'm not saying it's happening right now, but at some point this has to to be hitting up alarm bells on the back offices of the both the prime brokers and the broker dealers. And maybe we'll see a buy-in this morning. That's the main reason I came on, just to see how it opens. I did want to talk about MMTLP, and there's other stocks we can talk about. I'm sorry to be looking down. I'm looking at the scintillating action in Gin Medical. And Ace probably has a lot of answers on many of things. All right, let's see this gentleman. Is this a real post? I can't believe I sold ZJYL to buy Finger. Don't worry. You know, you can't. There's two lessons there. There's nothing of import here. There's two lessons there. One, when you sell, you take the risk of missing out on a move, but the move hasn't happened yet, so you may still have time. But two, as I was taught, the only time to sell a stock is when the story changes or you have a better opportunity. And of course, those are both subjective points of view. You change your concept. There were a few things we were taught. If you're buying something and you've studied it, write it down and write down your goal. What am I trying to accomplish here? And where would I like to get out? Because you're going to lose your mind as it trades. And I've lost my mind. The hardest thing is to sell. The hardest thing is to sell. You start thinking, you start believing your own hype, and you forget that the time kills all trades, and the animal spirits of the market dissipate. They get all behind a stock, and then they look at another one and they move, and it happens all the time. So anyway, my two lessons I take from your situation, Opal, is you sold and bought Finger for a reason. And that reason is a good reason. I think Finger is on the verge of 2 or 3 really significant, maybe 4 really significant events. Doesn't mean it happens tomorrow, but Finger is going to be in a fantastic position, I think, in the next weeks, months. So it's not a bad trade. And I assume you got a profit in ZJYL. The second thing is, it's not over. It's not over. ZJL could still take time to take off. I just like what I'm seeing this morning. 142,000 shares. Trying to hear what she's talking about. Texas was amazing. Ace designed it. Wow. That's really good. You've got talent. It expresses optimism. Even though you're looking to the right. Yeah, you're looking to the right. So that's good, I guess. And Ace, you probably were excited that Haley won Vermont yesterday. The news stories the headlines I was watching. Haley wins Vermont. Haley leading in Vermont, and every other primary was left off the headline in the first paragraph. It's just incredible. Whatever side of the political aisle you're on, if you watch Rachel Maddow, who makes $35,000 an episode, and that awful person, Jennifer Redhead, and the other one, Joy. Hey, Junk. I was listening, but not fully listening. So because I went live just now, so you're kind of being heard. You're not on you're on my speakerphone, but you're not in my main speaker, but they can hear you. And I've told everybody they should be joining joining your call is in the morning, but ZJYL looks like it's there's something happening in it. That's why I went live. But I also just got back from Houston and learned a little. Well, what I didn't learn about Ora Grande made me want to talk about that. And I'm getting feedback from my own efforts to move stock out of Morgan Stanley, out of E-Trade, that I believe they don't have any stock left. So that's why I signed into your call for those
Okay.
that you're, you know.
Well, why don't I go to Starport? She's got her hand up, and then we'll come back to you,
Okay.
William, and
All
you're
right.
gonna
All right.
get
All
all
right.
of the
All
things. Go ahead, Starport.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for the mic.
Sure.
I was just gonna say, Barry Weiss, I can't believe I forgot her.
Very
Lara
well.
Logan, Lara.
Yep.
She's great. Matt Drudge, another one I can't believe I forgot.
Right. I was like, wait, why did I forget about Matt?
Yeah. And Bill O'Reilly.
Yeah.
Don't give up
and
on Nikki.
They're all
They're
very,
gonna,
you know, there's varying political ideologies there, but they're all great independent journalists too.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So hit it from all. Oh, sorry, guys. Market's open.
Mark, listen
play
to her.
safe,
She's
play
great.
nice with others.
Let's
Keep it
see.
green.
The market opening.
Yeah.
Real
You
time.
never know where it's going to stick. You never
Real
know.
time quote.
And oftentimes when you get one of the big ones,
Nothing
pay
happening.
attention to it. A lot of the others are
Stock
followed.
is
I know in
1030.
particular with Rusty Rockets,
1014 by 1024.
He talks about this all the time. Also, Coco,
1003. So they're hitting it.
the guy that does those great videos.
Same
I follow
tricks.
him.
But the volume
he
is suddenly
certainly has talked about the corruption in the
195.
markets and things like that. So he's got
195,000.
Coco, I laughed my ass off because
This is Duke.
For some weird reason, I was thinking Cuomo, and I'm like, oh, talking about Ian Carroll.
This is
Ian
Duke.
Carroll.
The Duke.
So low,
The duck.
So loco.
The duck
Yeah.
of death. 1002. 10 by 1017.
That guy is so
201,211
smart. I heard him in
shares.
a space once. That guy
Now they got
is
the
definitely
bid
someone
down to
to follow.
973.
100%. He's
That
already
guy's a monster.
So they're doing everything
I
they
posted
can
up
to
three or
tell
four of his
you
videos.
it's
I
not
just
going
watched
up.
another one this morning as I was,
This is a big move.
rising
This is a
out
lot of
my
volume.
summer
We'll see.
reluctantly.
I might be jumping the gun here.
Yeah, absolutely. And Barron's let me know Howie Carr, great radio.
That's
syndicated
it.
radio.
Yep. Car.
Howie Carr.
Yeah,
I've
see,
heard that name.
brainstorming. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Go ahead, Lowell.
No, I was just gonna say, like I said, my list is not comprehensive by any means. If you guys think of people, just go down into the comments and tag that, so that way it's in that thread. And I put that list up in your desk right now.
Haley
So,
is conceding.
tag it in the comments.
That could
way
be the
everybody
title
knows
of a
it.
country
Just go,
song
bookmark it, go back to it, save it, use it.
or a
Yeah, absolutely.
bad
And
novel.
I will try to update some of those names that we.
I think
threw out today.
Nikki
Hopefully
Haley
someone's
is just
keeping track of
terrible.
those.
Absolutely
if somebody can
terrible.
DM me, if you can remember,
She has no
Ian
character.
Carroll, Matt
And,
Brett, Barry Weiss. Who were the ones that you said Starboard? Laura Logan.
I was asked by a
There's no you.
Uber driver, a Tesla. I was in a Tesla,
Not Drudge.
and he was a great guy. He moved here from Mexico, Houston from Mexico,
It's also a feeder
33, 37 years ago. He was great.
So that's a
We were
start.
talking about everything. But
guys,
he-
what that means is
He asked me who I was voting for, Trump or Biden, and I was like,
even the network news
if those are the
go to Matt
if,
Drudge first thing in the morning.
that's the way it is, I'm going Trump. And
Yeah, people.
he
people
said, well,
in
Trump
the
is,
media
what did he say?
use
Trump
Matt Drudge
is,
as a source for
there's
their
too
own
many,
reporting.
Is that?
I forget what word he used, but there's too much drama basically around Trump,
Yes.
and that he's a
And
narcissist. And I said,
another
well,
one.
maybe he is a narcissist, but he's
I'm
doing
drawing a
good
blank on his
things, I
name.
think.
He was a Secret Service. He
Uh,
filled in for a lot for Rush Limbaugh when he was sick.
And now they're talking about journalists.
Yeah.
He would
Oh,
be,
yeah.
that would be interested in.
Yeah. No, he's definitely.
But then he said, I'm trying to remember the important point he made. Oh, the point I made was important. See, that's the thing.
It's
What was really important was what I had to say. But I really, Victoria Newland is retiring, thank God. But my biggest fear is if we get Biden again, we're going to be in World War III. And that, I know we here, we think, oh, that can never happen. But boy, it can happen. Just one mistake, one misunderstanding. To me, the first thing Trump should do if he's elected, get on a plane to Moscow or get on a plane to I don't know where they should meet. Maybe they should meet in Cairo. They both land in Cairo. But go meet with Putin. I'm telling you, just because Hillary Clinton lost the election, we should not have to go to World War III. Anyway, I'm not sure he liked my point because I had to get out of the cab at that point. Yeah, I like Robert Kennedy very much, and I admire his father enormously.
Just do that every once in a while, see what he's up to. Nope, still not seeing him.
Yeah, I can't. She asked me to speak and then didn't really want to hear. But
Oh, that's weird.
I really like Bobby Kennedy and his son. I like very much. I don't think he's as kooky as everyone makes him out to be. Although I have a really good friend who's close to him, and he does tell me there's some aspects that of you know, some of the Kennedys that are unique, but you know, they grew up with wealth, they grew up with responsibility, and they grew up with a lot of death, I don't think I could have handled it. So I try not to judge some of those things. Unfortunately, it looks like ZJYL is, I'm going to give her like, I don't know, a little more time. And if not, I'll try to see if Ham can come on because maybe he has some things to say since you missed your mainlining of Ham.
Pretty much exactly what we did. And so they
I'm not learning anything here. While I heard, and that's why it's good Aces here maybe, but I heard something about Alpine going down. I heard something about progress with MMTLP, but I'm not hearing it right now. And
as well as reposted that from thank you so much for that.
There was one other item I heard while I was traveling. I can't remember.
You can throw Terry Nichols some love. I did kind of say beware of the U3 halt. So, but I think we should keep a close eye on that one. And when that actually comes.
Good morning, Chris Decker. Hey, Kitties. Kitties.
So we'll see. I don't know. Does FINRA have the chutzpah to do it again?
Kitties never die.
I don't know what the.
No, I wasn't able to visit HNRC. I emailed them, tried to call in, and there.
You know what, Kenny? I agree.
The event was downtown Houston. I believe HNRC has something out in the Woodlands, but I can't remember the address. But anyway, I'm also guessing that it's just a virtual office space. I don't think that's my guess, because Frank Kristen, as far as I know, lives in Williamsburg, Virginia. But I wasn't able. I'll keep trying to get a hold of them, though.
John Berta.
Hey, Sada, I missed you too.
His phone number directly to them.
Sada is a great supporter of all of you guys and fighting the cause.
John's pretty good as well, though.
She has a very good heart, very good soul.
Oh, and you had to throw in Jeff Mendel too. Oh, I love it. Mom's basement, sad, huh? It's got Jeff.
I don't know what they're talking about.
It looks like
her voice is gone.
Pants down. What is going on there?
Got my BlockFi payment and bought good. Good. I don't know what BlockFi is, but I think that's great. And you know what what's going to be frustrating about buying silver is that it won't move. It won't move. And in fact,
Okay, guys. Go ahead, Marduk. We got Money Mike coming.
Marduk, that's Marduk,
Go
not Duke,
ahead,
Marduk.
Marduk. Going once.
Sorry, my bad. I thought
Let's see what he's got to say.
I put a post on that's by Dylan. I thought it deserves more attention because that's absolute truth, and it was also liked by GP. So
Let me
Let's see, which one are you talking about?
let me
see if it's
text
loaded yet.
him.
Go ahead, Money Mike. Welcome to the mic. Good morning on this hump day.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going.
So last week I had mentioned I called Fidelity and transferred and requested a transfer to AST. And
Oh, this
just
is
following up with
interesting.
them, I told them I want to, direct transfer it digitally, DRS. Yep, no problem. Here's your transfer.
This is
number,
interesting
so
to
on, so
me.
forth. So I call back today to see progress because I keep calling.
I think they're out of
AST,
stock.
My social, nothing's coming up. And they said, oh no, well, we sent paper certificates out. I'm like, that's not
fine.
what I requested. I requested a direct transfer. Well, we can't do that. I said, you're wrong. You
I
can't
think
keep
I think it's
other
fine
people
if you
do
get paper because
so
you
they said
get
it's in
an
process. They
account
already been
at
mailed
the.
out. So
I wouldn't worry if you get paper.
That would make if they get it digitally or paper form. Is it once they get it, it is what it is. Is that safe to say?
There.
Well, here's
there.
the question: are the certificates
That's.
being sent to
Let's
you?
see if
or
we can
directly?
find that news.
They said directly to AST.
Okay, so from my understanding, if they go directly to AST, then you will be registered in book entry.
Okay.
If they go to you, you will be registered in certificated form, and then you will need
she
to
got it.
contact
She's
AST
got it.
and ask them the process if you want to transition those into book entry. But if they
Right
are
here
going
might
directly
come
to
on.
AST, the certificates, when AST receives them, they will automatically convert them to book entry.
All right, and then at that point, I could just call AST, put my social, and then they, eventually it'll come up. It's that they have them,
Northwest.
correct?
Yeah, how long has it been?
There was a gap.
5 days, maybe 6
You
days.
know, just as an FYI, TD Ameritrade
Yeah,
supposedly is
I
doing
like that.
it
That's a good
digitally,
analysis.
and it took 14 days for it to show up.
That's
again.
a good analysis.
Yeah, so I know that there has been an influx of transfer requests, and so apparently account information at AST, the last word that I had was manually done. So I would give it another week, but just call every day and
Call
I
every
even
day. I
called
agree
at
with that.
1 a.m. on a
I
Monday
agree with
morning,
that.
and that's when I found out that my account was done.
Right.
So yeah,
I agree with that.
Yeah, just stay on top of it.
All right, cool.
But
Thank
yeah,
you.
it's easy, guys. You just dial the 1-800 number. Here, I can actually look it up on my phone. Now, this is the 1-800 number that was designated for AST, and then Aquinty's using the same number. This is also the number that is located on the press release. It is 1-800-937-5449. If you call that number, you input your Social Security number.
Yeah,
If it says
tell
we don't
you.
recognize it, that means that your account has not been set up yet. And then if not, it will tell you how many shares they have for your Social Security number. I'll be honest, guys, it's been 2 or 3 weeks since I called. I don't remember if it says you've got book entry shares or certificated. I just knew that my shares were there.
Yeah, she's right about that. That's why it doesn't matter if you get physical sent to you. It's okay. You'll be registered at the transfer
I'm
agent.
so sorry. Money.
All good.
Thanks for
All
that. I
right.
appreciate it. Okay, William, I'm coming back to you.
All
Well,
right.
actually, really quick, guys. If you'll go up into the nest, William, I'll hit you back in just a minute. I want you guys to see some things in particular. So Marduk, of course, just posted Dylan's post about the board of directors having less than 1% ownership each, less than 5% combined. That's a little discomforting, if I'm being honest. Always a good sign when the board of directors and the leadership, the executive suite, are holding a good significant amount of shares. Then, of course, Lowell posted the media Monday. Jonna posting the fox guarding the hen house.
All right,
And
she's gonna
Black,
ask me to
again, thanks for all
talk,
those
but
great graphics.
we'll see.
Up there is Metamaterials press release regarding the shareholder meeting on April 15th. Guys, that is 2024, not 2023. I apologize for that. And then, of course, Rare Denny's incomparable.
Eric, I couldn't
2-hour
find
video-
that, but I think that
video
is
on FINRA
really
Plus.
important information
Guys, you'll notice my posts, I'm adding that to everything.
because
To 177,000 views so far.
to
We
my
need to get
memory,
that to 1 million.
they
We've
had
done that with the community
scheduled
before. I think
a
we've had at
meeting
least one
with
that
NASDAQ
hit 1 million
a couple of
views. I
weeks
know
from
Busy's
now,
got
or
one that's
10
got
days from now. That doesn't
857,000.
have to
Guys,
happen.
we can do it. We just need to continue to get the word out. So that's up there. Also, my repost of his as well with the message there. And then, of course, we know that the physicist, is going to DC March 11th through the 22nd. His calendar's there. If you would like him to represent you
Okay,
in a
Southeastern.
face-to-face meeting with your
Hopefully.
senator or your congressman,
I mean,
please
I'm
reach
not
out,
a
check the calendar,
Rockefeller,
call
but
your reps, make
it's
that
about,
appointment. I actually think it's a great opportunity for you guys to request a Zoom and then follow that up with an in-person meeting. So make those calls, request
it's
a
only
Zoom call
for
with your
me,
representative
what I'm
and
trying
your
to get
staffer.
moved is
Update them
1,200
on
or
the most recent
1,300
updates,
shares.
provide them the link
It's my
to
remaining
Rare
position,
DD's video
but
as
it's,
well as the new collusion video.
it could be
Also
important
posting
if
that.
it's worth some money.
And then say, hey, and I'd like to follow it up with our representative in DC. They're going to be there. And
Now there's
so
some
we can
more
look at an
hands, so
in-person
she
meeting
probably
that
won't
He's got a
call
lot
on
of
me.
information that he can forward you as well. So I think it's a great opportunity to kill two birds with one big stone. So anyway, thanks of course to Don for all of his efforts and heading out there, as well as all the others that are assisting him. And hang on just a second. That are assisting him and conducting their own meetings and building their relationships.
Oh,
with our
here,
representatives.
here's
So thank you to all of
Mexican's
you.
question.
Uh,
Half paper, half
Yep,
electronic.
Roger's
I'm moving it all.
recommending If anyone
I'm
can
moving it
go
all.
out, so Ralph Norman's video, let's see.
I was concerned for a
has
long
1 million
time that I
plus
should
views.
have a
If
foot
someone can
in
go out
both
and
boats,
add Rare DD's
but
video in the chat of
But-
Ralph Norman's post, that would be fantastic.
I'm now just moving
I
it
think I'm
all
also gonna do a
to
repost of that Ralph
AST
Norman,
if I can.
interview,
Why?
And you can add the link as well. So let's continue to
I like oil and
there's some
gas,
things
number
that, guys.
one. Number two,
Okay.
I'm willing.
Then of course, Jonna, she's got her hand up, so I'll let her pitch the share count. But my post for the new and improved share count
Well,
is up there,
she
guys.
called
What
to
we
me
need
and
you
now
to
she's
do
going to
is,
hands.
go
Let's
ahead
hear the
and
share count.
register for an account. What that allows you to do, even if you registered your shares in the beginning, you can still register your account.
Okay,
Make
so
sure that you use the same email that you used
Jin
before.
is now
But,
265,000
go ahead and register an
shares,
account, and that will allow you to go
$9.95
in
to
and
$10.
designate what type
It's
of
up
account it is that
up
you're
a
holding
smacker.
shares.
It's
Is it a
up
retirement
101.
account, a cash account,
So
a
it's
margin
not at
account?
its
And
high,
if you've transferred shares to AST, there's an
but
opportunity for
it's
you to let us know how many of those as well. This information is incredibly valuable, but I'm going to let Jonna fill
to
in the
my
gaps.
eyes
Go ahead, Jonna.
going back up.
Well, I wasn't actually gonna talk about that, but I'll talk about share. You know, I will.
Share count. Let's hear share count. The high end today, 1033.
Just fill out your voluntary share count for every broker. We are looking for every share. If they're not gonna give us one willingly, we're gonna prove them that there's an overage just on this very small community.
Oh, so this is
on
to
Twitter. But we're also taking it off Twitter.
voluntarily submit our number of shares held at brokerage firms.
Like 6 or 7 or something. Stock Twits, Instagram, whatever other social media.
Let's hear what Ramon
or
says.
Just people that you know that you got involved in.
You could be right, Ramon.
Social media platform.
And one reason,
Have them help us.
all right, that's too annoying. It's
It's
too annoying. That's annoying. The sound is annoying to me. So, if ZJYL, let's say, closes above 10 today, or if we're lucky, maybe it closes at 16 today or some number. It's tomorrow morning that the daily runs will come across brokers' desks, compliance officers' desks, and point out an imbalance in the collateral.
Just wanted to touch on that the
AST.
book entry. They don't say it over the phone, but when you create your online account, you'll be able to generate a balance sheet which will show your book entry, that your shares in book entry, and associated book entry number for that. I don't know if you transfer multiple ones, they'll have different.
All right, so that he's restating the point. If you get your certificate sent to you, it's going to be red. It'll show at AST. I think that was his point.
Okay. Now, FINRA fraud. I see your name.
FINRA fraud. All right, so I don't guess they forgot about me. Yeah, I think she did forget about me.
Just trying to kill two birds with one stone, kill two regulators with one stone. Anyway, FINRA fraud, go ahead. You got a mic. What's on your mind?
Nothing's on his mind.
Got on mute, man.
Oh, he's got a British accent. He must be smart.
He's probably at work.
Yeah, he probably is. Okay. Let's see. Did I hit everything up in the nest?
He must be rather intelligent.
Oh boy. So S and MMTLP posting those videos regarding Ari Rubenstein. Good grief. And of course, guys, throw some love out to Terry Lynch, CEO of Power Nickel, as well as Kitco News. So, of course, he did mention MMTLP. That was fantastic. And then just a reminder, guys, naked shorts who locates or not delivered are counterfeit shares. Market makers made them, broker dealers sold them, and FINRA and the SEC are protecting them. You know,
She's got it.
They can throw all the narratives at us they want.
She's got it.
Deflect,
By gosh, she's got it.
issue, which is, you know, John Berta didn't make counterfeit shares. George Pelicaris didn't make counterfeit shares. They didn't.
It's amazing. You know, when I first started talking about this,
you know,
after him, people wouldn't know this. She explains it better than I ever could. It's amazing. And she probably has, what, thousands of people listening? It's incredible to me. This isn't going back under the rug.
U3 halt. And so not that, and let me say this as well, I believe if anyone
and that it's not about me, by the way. I wasn't making that point at all.
And that includes the counterfeiters. So for me, it's all about the share.
All right, 1010.
Let's get the share count.
1009. I see on ZJYL 285,000 shares.
Let's see. Also, our very own Lolly posted. Of course, we all know that she is.
Okay, let me
with leukemia.
answer
She's
this.
going through some treatments right now. A lot of love and appreciation out to her and Pops.
She asked me to
was letting
speak,
us
but
know
now
that in,
I'm just listening with half an ear to
theory that they're having a blood drive. It's a great reminder to all
a
of us.
blood drive.
You can go to theredcross.com and type in your zip code. And it
Last
will
time I
give you
gave
any,
blood, I was
blood
so
drives that are in
nervous.
the area.
I stood up
Guys,
and
giving
fell
blood
to the
saves lives.
floor.
So if you have the opportunity,
The nurse said
please
to
do
me,
that.
I don't
That's
think
all
you
it
should
costs.
give
Just
blood
wanted to send
again.
some love out to you too. And so thank you for posting that this morning, Lolly.
Busy Brands is on.
And let's see.
Bird
Also,
Lady's on.
Of course, the incomparable Lady Shaughnessy, always keeping us abreast of foreign
Lady
market
Shaughnessy.
regulators
It's
clamping down on
Kristen
the
Shaughnessy.
various market activities.
Or is it
So
Kirsten?
once
I
again,
always forget. Is it Kristen or Kirsten?
oh, the irony, guys, the irony. China's regulators come out and say we must
The
pay high
irony.
attention to fairness.
Hey, Morty
especially in the markets
Bojangles.
dominated by small investors. That is China's top regulator.
I wish all right, Ham's calling in. Let's just let him go on. She missed her chance with me. Yeah, if you want to go live, let me get my speaker hooked up. It faded out. I always have it hooked up before I text you, but then it. Yeah, hang on.
Battery
People would love
40%.
to hear from you
Connected to
after.
Bill's iPhone.
Okay, let's see. Okay, it's time for Hammerama. All right, you're live.
I'm just scrolling, looking at prices so that I can discuss things. Anyway, I posted a couple of things on Twitter. Number one, GTI and Finger, as you can see in the pre-market, they moved the offers back now. That's their new trick is they're going to move the offers higher. So, for example, GTII was 30 to 34 cents, and I told you never chase it because they want it to open at 34, then they're going to drop it back down. They did the same thing at Finger. It was offered at 245, and now they're offering it way lower already. So they changed their stripes. Before they used to just offer it lower. Now they're offering higher, trying to bait you to come in and then sell it lower. So my thing is accumulate, never chase, accumulate. All right. Wall Street's about pennies. All right. These idiots, they just keep trying to sell it lower. Finger Motion, it's been relentless selling. Relentless, never ending. That tells me how trapped they are, and they know something's coming. Because you wouldn't do this is moronic what they're doing here in this stock. All right. I understand other names, but this has been consistent selling since October 10th of 2023. Every day, the same thing. GTI is starting to get a few days in the sunlight. Let's see what happens. Yesterday, they sold 70% of the volume was shorted. 70%. So if a million shares traded, 700,000 was fake. They just keep flooding the markets with counterfeits. William, I think a bunch of people posted that guy Dave Lauder, is that his name? Whatever his name is. He's having some event with the SEC. It'll be streaming, and I think you can register. People are putting it up on Twitter. I got the email about it, so I haven't put it up yet, but register. I hope you understand what's going on. Let's see if they actually touch on the subject of naked shorting and counterfeiting of stocks. ZJYL popped today. I don't know where it is right now, William. Doing the math. Remember, this was a 20-to-1 split. At $10, at $10, that's $200, correct? Pre-split. We did the math. These guys are short. Their average price was 20. It's 200. They're down $180 per share. And on top of that, they did a 20 for 1, so they're short 20 times more shares. I mean, I don't even know how they're still standing. Whoever's backing these guys, this is a massive beating here. Massive.
What's the trigger for anything, do you think, or does it matter?
I don't know I don't understand who is fronting these guys money for these type of losses. It's just remarkable. And just go back and look. Alpine was a prime broker.
Right.
They run interference for criminals. They give them extensions. They buy them time on money. And that's how Alpine got caught. They have no money. And last night, William, I went on Ace's call. Do you guys realize the crime it is to defraud the depository trust? It's the biggest institution in the world. It's owned by banks. All the banks, everybody, the biggest brokers in the world own the depository trust. And Alpine, who was given a license, don't ask me how, who let them in? But they let the criminals into that organization, and they've been committing fraud for 20 years, and they can't shut them down. I think that, my opinion, that the DOJ, someone's going to get arrested after this happens, because these guys were, defrauding, a bank, an institution. It's just remarkable.
Do you think something has to catastrophically collapse before they arrest someone, or will they arrest someone?
Just look what these guys have done. They had the keys to the vault.
Yeah.
How did the DTC let these guys in? Remember, before we know, terrorists are using Alpine to naked short. Alpine's running interference for them, covering up their trails because they're the prime broker.
Mm-hmm.
The DTC's not seeing it until it becomes a disaster.
Mm-hmm.
How many other prime brokers are doing this? I don't know all the prime brokers. Who's covering up? Somebody's lending these guys money. allowing them to do this criminal activity.
Well, I remember you said on ZJYL, you said you thought the average price they shorted at was either $20 or $25 pre-split. Call it $20. That means $1, right? I mean, maybe it means $1.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of it after split. I just haven't had my head to wrap it around. It's a good question, William. I guess it's $1, right?
I guess. I mean, my point
I have
is
to sit down and look at it and pencil and figure it out.
there.
I don't want to make it wrong.
I don't. Yeah, and I agree with that. It's hard to.
It's hard to go reverse it. I have to reverse engineer the numbers.
Yeah, I agree with that. But at least in theory, it's possible that they're down $9 right now. It's possible. It's a lot of. That's a lot of money.
That is right. That makes sense. Yeah, I'm just trying to. I don't want to say it wrong, so I'll just go back to the pre-split. The pre-split, the numbers were, and the data based on what I've gotten was they were shorted at 20. That's their average short. If you go back in time, you can see all the selling before it exploded to 300. All the shorts were below $20.
Right. That's
Whatever
it.
happened with below? Was it trading 12,000 shares? It was nonsense. But the big number was below. So that was it 10 million shares they were short. Multiplied times 20 is 200 million.
Yeah.
So now they're short 200 million. And
well, no, I think it was 1.3. No, you're right. 10 million. 10 million. You're right. You're right. The float was 1.3 million shares. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Was there? I don't even know. Was there news on the stock today? Why did it go up?
Everett says that. Let me go back to his post here. Benzinga, that paradigm of excellent news, showed
Jason Resnick.
Yeah, I got to go back to. He posted twice, but oh no, it's TD Ameritrade says Jin Medical regained compliance with NASDAQ requirements.
All right, so they needed 300 shareholders. Last night, William, I told you, I heard a broker that we know, he bought 100 clients a position in ZJYL. All different amounts, 200 shares, 500 shares.
All round lot? All round lot? All over 100?
Yeah, all over 100. So he said he basically by himself, he put in 100 shareholders into it by himself.
Wow. Wow.
So I kind of knew they were going to make compliance because that guy told me he did that. So adding everybody else up, I assumed that we were there anyway.
Here's a question for you. I have no idea. This is a good listener. Have you heard of a fund called Gluskin Chef? Gluskin Chef in Canada? No. I haven't heard of it either, but he's wondering. If it's out of Canada, they're probably scumbag smiles.
Listen, the Canadians have been looting the equity markets for years. The orders, just so you know, in the 1990s, they used to have these, I guess it was called a debt spiral at the time, or Reg S. And all the orders were going from the US to Canada, and Canada would short the US. So all the Canadians learned from the Americans how to destroy the US equity markets. That's how it really started.
Yeah.
And the Canadians were allowed to naked short into the US were not allowed to do it.
You know, I think this is a case over the last, in my opinion, since Reg Show. I think Reg Show opened up the spigots, the floodgates, but it's really a case of these characters pushing on the rules over and over and over and over again. And once they realize there's no settlement and there's no enforcement, and the worst thing that happens is they get a wrist slap, it's become everywhere. And I think I agree with you. Even when I was I would see the thing you guys are learning from him. He was really in the trenches. I was once or twice removed from it, but even I knew that Canada was shit back then. Germany, Bear Stearns, I kind of remember Germany, and then other offshore platforms. And I think it was called Reg F. Anyway, it was the safe harbor. If you were offshore, you could break laws, at least temporarily, and they wouldn't do anything, particularly in the case of IPOs and secondaries. But now they don't enforce anything. It's just,
You can do whatever you want.
you can
Just
do
go,
whatever
just be
you
like
want.
Andrew. Go be like Andrew Left. Go pick $100 stock or Chanos, and just go out there and post a story that the company committed fraud. Like Etsy, he said that someone was supplying Etsy. A third party was selling counterfeit T-shirts on Etsy. That's what Andrew Left wrote. How the fuck did he find a counterfeit T-shirt on Etsy?
What is a counterfeit T-shirt?
I don't even know what
It's
a counterfeit
fake cotton?
T-shirt is, but the stock was $130. The shorts were getting killed. He needed to stop it. So they paid him probably to write that fake story. He goes on CNBC and he writes that they were selling counterfeit goods. Somebody was putting counterfeit goods on Etsy. Everyone owns their own store on Etsy, but some individual was selling counterfeit T-shirts or whatever. The stock was cut in half. It's down 50%. He saved the shorts from getting destroyed there. And that's what they did. Over a counterfeit T-shirt. We're screaming about counterfeit stocks and no one gives a shit. Tell me about it.
While you're speaking, ZJYL 1021.5. Bid 1007, ask 1020, 334,000 shares.
So on that stock, if you were playing it, you set, when it rips to 11 plus, you own 1,000 shares, you sell 500. If it pulls back, you can buy it back. Buy the dips, sell the rips.
You know, if we had listened to him for the last 2 years on that simple advice, and the hardest thing is selling, because you start believing your own BS, you start believing your own spit, and you don't want to sell. I don't want to miss out. But I'm telling you, looking back, sell your profits, take profits.
Listen, there's different ways to do that.
Yeah, okay.
And ZJYL
1035, by the way, 1035, 1031 to 1039.
I know very little about ZJYL. I'm following very smart people. So buy the dips, sell the rips works. Finger motion, I'm not following anybody. I'm following myself. I know everything about it. You met the CEO. You interviewed him. I feel like we know every gory detail about finger motion. And the only negative thing is Lynn Partners. And whoever they put into the stock. That
You were being nefarious. I'm kidding you. Of course, the only negative thing, the only misstep that Finger ever made was signing a deal with Lynn Partners.
That's it. And now I put up this stock KNW, and some shareholders are yelling at me. I says, I have no interest in KNW. I'm reporting that Lynn Partners, who destroys every company they lend money to, and if you're a shareholder, if you choose not to believe what I'm saying, I don't care. Do your own homework. That's what I'm trying to let you know. And I don't want to see shareholders get destroyed. I don't care what the company says or what they do. And that it's impossible to get away from their grip on the stock once they do those toxic notes. It's over with. You can't do anything about it. It's got nothing to do with the company. You can have the cure for cancer. They kill them anyway. It doesn't make a difference.
1042.
And that's all I'm saying.
1042.
That's all I'm saying on KNW. And I put up, and there's a guy, Flamethrower, he put up a bunch of deals that Lynn's done. Every stock, they do the deal, they go straight down. I found one last night, Harry Uncle Boy Charlie, HUBC. It's security, whatever, some sort of security company. Cyber security, I don't even know what it is. It was 5+. It went to $1. They did a 1 for 10 reverse, so you lost 10% of your position. So if you owned 100 shares, you only have 90 left, and the stock's $1.20. So what? So the company is a 2-time loser already. Stock straight down. They took 10% of your position away, retired it already, and the stock is $1.20. That's Lynn Partners investment. Straight down. It doesn't go straight down like we think, like in an arrow, 5 to 0. It takes a little time, but they kill you. SYTA, I saw something on Twitter today. They announced some positive stuff, cell phone company, blah, blah, blah. They already slaughtered that company twice already, reversed it, killed it. They did it twice already. That doesn't mean the company's bad. It's just that it's under control of the criminals. There's nothing you can say. The proof is right here. Lynn Partners should be calling the SEC, say, shut these guys up. They're ruining my business. I'm not ruining the business. They do it themselves.
That's right.
I'm just showing you the data. The data doesn't lie. People do. I have no interest in KNW. Zero. Couldn't care less. But I can speak up and show you I'm reporting a crime. You think the SEC would give us a little money for reporting crimes? They could care less.
That's the amazing thing. No one cares. It's
They
just
don't care.
incredible.
It's unbelievable that what's going on here. It's just remarkable. Just, hey, guys, as a trader, I look at Kodak. Kodak had that nice run last week. It's pulled back. The short speed it back down. It's digging in. I think a break above 5, I think it takes off again. That's just my gut on trading.
Wow.
Again, just my personal gut. It keeps bouncing back up. If it goes through 5, the options expire on the 15th, so it's got nothing to do with, I don't know what is today. I don't even know what today is.
Today is Thursday. Wednesday.
What is the date?
Today's Wednesday.
The date.
Oh, the date is the 6th.
Oh, the 6th. Okay, so you got 10 more days, 2 more weeks. But again, keep an eye on that. That's if you're trading. If you see a dip, maybe you buy 500 shares. When it runs through 5, you can sell it. You can take the profit. Let's say if you make 50 cents, you go out and you could buy the 7.5 for next month and never look at it with the profit. And if it ever really takes off and runs to 50 or 60 again, you make a fortune. Look at ROOT. They destroyed that company, reversed it, and then it squeezed up to $42 recently. So imagine just change the numbers. It was 7.5. It was $7. Imagine buying the 7.5 calls and it runs to 42. You make yourself $35. That's why you buy cheap options with some profit on stocks that have these short positions, because when they take off, you can kill them. You can turn a no investment into making $10,000 or $20,000. And that's what I like to do. I like to use small money into big money. That's how you become rich. Not throwing big money and losing it and going to small money. I used to be a dice player. I used to play craps. And I always went to the table with $500 to play. I wanted to outsmart or out-hedge the casino. That's what I wanted to do. And I can't tell you how many times I turned $500 into $15,000 or $20,000 in 2 hours. And if I lost 500. But I went to tables using small money and trying to figure out all the different bets and turn it into big money. Same principles you apply in the stock market. It's easy to go out there and buy 1 million shares of a stock at 5. When it runs to 7, you make $2 million, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what happens when it goes down and you get wiped out?
The worst is losing your grub stake. It's the worst.
What's the grub stake?
Well, I don't know. That's something I heard on a movie, but it's the money you have to play with the poker at the table. If you lose it all, you can't play again. So
the key is to stay alive. Sometimes you have to take a loss and move on. So you buy 1,000 shares of stock at 5 and it goes to 450, and you just don't like the way it acts. You just never, you don't know the story, blah blah blah. You lose 50 cents, you lose $500. You say, yeah, I got back 4,500. Let me try again somewhere else.
Right.
Just remember this. If you have no idea
Kiss
what
is
the
just a
company
kiss.
and the story is, and you're reading about it, you don't really understand it, go to the sidelines and see and watch it, understand it, see how it pans out. I told you all, a reverse split, you're dead. A forward split, you're getting to see that it's still alive. It hasn't hit the numbers we want to see, William, right? What is
Right.
it now? 10 and a quarter?
It's right now. No, they pulled it back. It's 10:30. Oh, you're right. It's 10:30. 10 and a quarter bid to 10:35
All right,
ask.
so, William, so that is like what is that? Like $220 or something like that? 200.
Well,
whatever.
just use $10 times 20. Yeah, 200,
Let's say it's 200. Let's say
260
it's 200.
to
Whatever.
206.
And you own the stock at where? What's your average? At $125?
Right around 100. I bought some at 74. I bought some right around 100, and I bought some at 130. So it's right around 100.
So you own it at 100. So you were in a stock that had a forward split, and you doubled your money.
That's right. I mean,
if you choose to get out, right?
right. I mean, it's not enough shares to change my life.
I forget that. It's not that. It's the idea. You got to
Right,
try to. You
right.
understand? I'm trying to teach you trading patterns. It's not, there's no guarantees, but here it is: a forward split doubled your money, a reverse split takes all your money.
Yes, I agree with that.
If you could call me the biggest dildo in creation, I gave you a lesson on 2 ways of trading: a reverse split, you're dead; a forward split, you have an opportunity to make money. If you learned anything, that's number 1, right?
They've got the bid to
Buy
10,
the
20.
dips, sell the rips. Buy in stock, sell the stock, use the profit, buy some cheap calls. You're still alive for free. I think I've given you 20 lessons on doing this stuff. But
you're
the
exactly right.
bashes call me a pumper, a scumbag, a motherfucker, you name it. I don't really care. I could care less. Again, I'm not going to do this forever. All right. I'm here because I'm following an investment that I've been in for a long time, and I'm not letting Lynn Partners steal my money. I paid $287 for the stock in December 2018, where the company was just starting. The company's got Munich Re, Pacific Life Re, China Mobile, China Unicon, Assurant, AIZ as their partners. They're in the cell phone insurance business. They're doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And revenue's going from nothing to 30 million. And the stock is down. I'm down 50 cents in it because of Lynn Partners. How's that happen? The company's got 15 million in the cash. They had 2 million in cash years ago. 15 million now. 15 going probably higher. And you're telling me I'm nuts?
Yeah.
These guys are criminals. They belong in jail.
Um,
And that's why I'm here. And looking around at the battlefield, I found ZJYL. I don't own it. I told you I never bought it.
question on ZJYL. There's a question on ZJYL. Are there a lot of shorts, and wouldn't they be front running each other to get out of the stock position?
They're trying to. They're trying. They can't.
Yeah.
They had, the short was 10 million shares. Their average price was 20.
Yeah.
The company did a forward split of 20 times. So 10 million times 20 is now 200 million. So they were artificially, they got short by a wave of the wand 20 times bigger.
Right.
Unbelievable. That was a great move by the company. And what was the move forced? Who forced the company's hand, William? The NASDAQ.
NASDAQ and I think they're getting pressure from some whales. Those 2 places, I think. But
well, I think if you look at it, I think that the NASDAQ forced these guys to actually forward split the stock, so they can get more, so the stock could become more affordable, and investors can buy it. Right? I didn't buy it because I didn't have $300 to buy a share.
One gentleman is asking you, do you have any reasonable sell numbers on ZJYL? What would you?
I know. Listen, I know that if we're correct, the numbers, it's going way higher. So if you want to protect yourself, as it runs up, if you own 100 shares, you may have 100. Now you got what, 200 now, William?
Right.
Or no, you got 2,000.
I have no. I have I can't remember what I had. I had 17 or 18 shares. So it's not very much. I think I got it up to 20. So I have essentially 400 shares, something like that.
So if you have 400 shares, your average price is 100. If you sold 200 shares, 10 plus, you doubled your money, and you have 200 shares that basically you could go for a free ride on.
Exactly.
You could do it, you trade it, let's do it like that.
Exactly.
Listen, there's no guarantees in life. You have to learn how to limit your risk. That's all you need to do. If it's trading if you own a stock at $1 and you can make a penny a day trading it, in 100 days you own it for zero, right?
Yeah. That's
all. That's the game. Listen, people, my friend, she trades for a famous fund manager, and all she trades is Apple Computer. I think they own 20 million shares. I forget their position. And her job is they own Apple Computer. Where's Apple at right now? 200, let's say. Let's say over the years they own it at 100. Her job is to trade it every day, just Apple.
Go back.
If the stock runs up $3, she sells 200, 300,000 shares. Goes back, she buys it back. And what she did is she made $1 on 300,000 shares. And over time, it reduces the cost on their Apple from $100. If she can get it down to $90, she's like the king of the hill.
Right.
That means she's made about $20 or $30 million, right?
Right.
And she gets paid just trading Apple. She knows everything about Apple, their technology, when their earnings, anything they ever speak about, she knows about Apple. That's all she knows. She doesn't know IBM. She doesn't know anything else but Apple. That's it. She doesn't even know what a gold stock, nothing, zero, Apple. That's it. And she's been doing that for years. So people specialize in different things, but her goal is to get the cost that they own Apple at lower. So they trade it. The stock runs up 10, she sells 1 million shares. It pulls back, she buys it back. If she buys it back for $1, it lowers their cost. That's all they want to do. The better she does, the more she makes.
I'm looking at the stock 1030 to 1035. Last trade 1032.5, 399,000 shares.
Right.
I wonder if there's a trigger that just makes it buy-in city or not. I don't know.
But I think based on the data, $15 is what? Times 20 is 300, right?
Right. One gentleman here this morning predicted a bit of a pullback at the opening, and he said if it got over 10, he's a chartist, I guess. He says it goes to 16. I think that would be very hurtful to the other side if it closed at 16. I think tomorrow morning.
What were you saying?
He said that on the open it would pull back a bit, and then as it, yeah. But I guess he lost. I lost him. All right, let's see what the new comments are. It's all right here. He's calling in again. All right, I guess we lost you.
Yeah, I got the boot.
Yeah, Das Boot.
Yeah, I got Das Boot. Yep. I'm meeting a shareholder who's an attorney today, very bright guy, and I'm meeting him for lunch. And he's representing clients going after naked short selling. So he wanted me to help him. And so I'm going out to lunch today.
Lucky duck. Are you getting square pizza or are you going for a steak?
I'm going to, I'll be in Midtown at the Capitol Grill.
Awesome.
I'm getting the onion soup and a salad.
Wow. I always get the steak salad at the Capitol Grill. It's good. Just enough steak.
I love their onion soup. So that's what I'm getting.
I hate onions. A lot of people.
I hate onions. That's the funniest part.
Oh, really? So maybe by cooking it, it gets rid of that flavor.
If I had an onion on a hamburger, I'd kill myself.
That's me. I can't stand it.
Listen, if for anyone who's from New York or Brooklyn, you know White Castle. You know, we used to call them murder burgers, and they put those chopped onions.
Oh, I hate those onions at White Castle.
I used to gag on them. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so again, good.
Sorry, Mark Bazille's going after Capybara. Interpol, and I can't understand this point. It's something about they need to open a case at Interpol to get after Capybara. I don't know. Let's let Mark Bazille do what Mark knows.
Mark is waiting for the judge to rule. He's waiting for the judge to rule on it. The judge has not ruled on it yet. I've asked him a few times about that. He can't go after Capybara until the judge rules on it. They defaulted already. All right. So, Capybara has defaulted. They're criminals and they're still operating. So Mark said that once the judge gives them the final say, stamps the thing that they are officially criminals in the Southern District, then he can go after Interpol and go after them. I let the people in KMP know that, God forbid, their stock goes up, that Lynn Partners will call the Capybara people and put out a negative report. So they always keep that in their war chest or their trick of what they're going to try to do to get the stock to go lower, right? And just remember this. Me and William were talking to his CEO, and the CEO had taken a loan from Lynn Partners, and he went to visit them one time. I'm not going to use the name. He went to visit them just to say hello. And the first words out of Jeff Easton's mouth were, I'm not sure
fat. No, what was it?
Am I correct, William?
I cut you off, so say it again what he said, Jeff Easton said.
The gentleman walked into his office. He's the CEO of a public company. I won't give the name because he didn't want us to say it. And he said, Jeff Easton said to him right out of the gate, didn't say hello, didn't say how you doing, didn't say why you're here. He said, I'm not shorting your stock. That was the first words out of his mouth.
I exactly as I heard the story.
That's who says that?
I heard it from the CEO. I heard it from the CEO.
Every company that borrows money from him, they all have the same reaction. I'm sure the CEOs go back and say, hey, who's killing our stock? And he says, not us. That's the first thing he says.
Which to me is technically true, because probably a lawyer is saying, hey, it's not you, it's your LLC or it's your buddy that's paying you a kickback. So technically it's not you. So
if I was Jeff Easton, okay, and I funded, KNP, whatever it is, okay, and he wasn't labeled the criminal that he is, why isn't he out there making statements saying, I demand the SEC to investigate this immediately?
This is hurting my clients. Investigate. Every company that Jeff Easton and his vaunted team of research analysts study and do their due diligence and say, wow, what a great idea. This is an exciting time to fund this company. We love it. Every single one goes down. Every single business plan is shite. How can that be?
Look at the difference. William, I got it. William, let's look at the difference between us and Jeff Easton. Jeff Easton.
He's rich.
He's he's not good looking, that's for sure. That's fuck. Anyway, he's giving companies $5-10 million, and when the stocks go down, he hasn't got a concern in the world.
No.
We have peanuts invested in investments, and we call the police all the time. We've called the police and taken photos of us calling the police with the truck 13 times. 13 times, an average cost of the truck, $3,000, 13 times calling the police. For our small investments, that's what we've done. Jeff Easton's given millions of dollars and hasn't said boo. Couldn't care less what happens to the price of the company.
That's right.
Does anyone think that's strange? Forget that we think. Forget what we think. I think the proof is just in what I just described to you. How is he not calling? He should be on Twitter and on CNBC screaming, I'm investing, supporting small companies, and I'm losing my shirt because I'm funding these companies and the stocks keep going down. And I can't, my clients are all leaving me because I'm destroying them. All this great technology from all these great companies, worthless now because of somebody knocking the stocks down illegally. Instead, he says nothing. He takes a loss, 10 million, 12 million, 10 million, 12, like nothing. Warren Buffett couldn't survive, but Jeff Easton does. Goldman Sachs couldn't take these hits. Jeff Easton does.
That's right.
That's all you need to know.
That's right.
And the cat's out of the bag now. We all can see it. We prove it. We show it. Where is Jeff Easton? He should be standing on a milk crate in Times Square screaming, who's stealing all my money? That's what he should be yelling. Right? None of them do it. The Kramers, the Alpine, Yorkville, whatever that other scumbags' names are, all of them. They don't say nothing. They don't say boo. No one says boo. Nothing. Zero. I think that proves our case pretty easily.
Well, like Not Legal Advice says, circumstantial evidence, which is what you just described, is evidence. It is evidence. So when people say, where's the proof? Well, every single darn stock that Jeff Easton touches goes down. He's not Midas. He's not Midas. He's, I don't know,
He's
the opposite of Midas.
He's the worst investor ever. He can't pick a winner if he can't pick a winner in a one-horse race, this idiot.
I mean, he day traded Yahoo. That's his experience. So
Yeah, right.
Anyway, Kit is asking you, whoever is lending these guys money to short, are they also buying the stock against that same short using the same methods the shorts use, but in reverse? And I guess he's talking about ZJYL.
I have no idea that you just, it was like, who's that? The Riddler giving me that question?
No, it's Kit Kitteridge. He's a pretty sharp guy. He understands.
No, I'm not saying. I don't understand. You're saying the shorts are selling the stock short, getting money.
What he's saying, I think, is the lender's giving money to the short to hang themselves, and the lender is simultaneously buying stock to make a big profit if it squeezes. I'm guessing that's what he's saying. I could read it to you again. Whoever is lending these guys money to short is also then buying the stock against that same short, question mark?
Nah.
Okay.
Listen, I'm not a short seller, and I'm sure most people on this phone are not a short seller. Shorting a stock, you have to have balls of steel. Because remember, if you short a stock at like $10 and all of a sudden it's 11 and a half, and you're short 5,000 shares, you're going to say, wait, I'm down 1.5 points already. And my exposure is infinite, and that weighs on you as a short seller. If I buy a stock and buy 5,000 at 10, the most I can lose is 50,000, correct?
Right.
So it's a different mentality. But when you're short and you watch your stock go up and you say, oh my God, I'm short 10,000, it's up 1.5 points, I'm down 15,000 in a minute. What happens to me now? What's going to happen? If it goes to 12, I'm down 20. Oh my God, it can go to 200, 300. I'll get destroyed. I'll lose everything. That's the mentality. You have to have balls of steel to do that. The SEC has rigged the game, or has allowed these guys to rig the game where they don't have that fear. They can sell more.
Right.
At some point, you can't keep selling more of nothing, and that's what it's turned.
Well, that's what Pedro points out. They sell without fear, but I point out, and I think your point is, because I'm not taking credit for your points for years, the system can't stand much more of this. The whole thing is going to collapse. it's easy to isolate people as conspiracy theorists, but the whole system's going to go down.
All right.
I think. Anyway.
Listen, I went on Twitter. I basically insulted the SEC to death. I begged them when KNW was 90 cents the other day, please allow me, give me permission to naked short it. Please, we want to make money too. Let me knock it to pennies before Lynn does so I can save investors. I mean, how much more? I'm not looking to do that. I'm just trying to insult them and save investors from buying this thing. I said the same thing, William. If you clean your ears and remember, Charlie, Eddie, Larry, Uncle. I took my son and my wife to meet the CEO. He's a former neurosurgeon at a trauma center in New York. He's the CEO of ZJYL. The stock was 80, 85 cents. I was sent in there by people that are close to him, and I sat down with them. He had no clue what's going on with his company, and I don't expect him to do it. This guy is a neurosurgeon. He saves people's lives, traumatic brain injuries. That's what he does, right?
Right.
No clue. And he wound up taking money from Yorkville. And I love the guy working on infectious diseases. I loved him. He took the deal at Yorkville. I told everyone, don't you dare buy this thing. This guy was taken to the cleaners. The stock dropped to 20 cents. And what did he do? A reverse. Why? Because he was below $1. So he did a reverse, and now the stock is back up, and they'll start over again. And I love the guy, but I wouldn't buy that stock. If you gave me your money, William, I wouldn't buy it at that time.
Well,
he was a spin out of Biogen. That's a major biotech. So this guy's got pedigree. Yorkville came in and destroyed the company. Destroyed it. But you know what? The company's still alive. Let's hope he comes up with some form of whatever to save people's lives with his infectious disease. And the poor shareholders in that company just continue to get fucked and lose all their money. That's their business.
444,000 shares, 1040 last trade, 1031 to 1040.
So I think that, William, in my weird mind, 15 times 20, if I do the math,
At 300.
I think that's that's game, set, match.
Makes sense to me.
Because that's where it got to when we were looking at it before.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And they kept coming back down, trying to knock it down from that point. So I think at that point, it's, I think if it breaks 15, you'll see 50. I think that's what's going to happen. So again, I don't know. But that seems to me to be the level.
I don't think I don't think Ham talks about that anymore, but maybe it's 10:36. I think we should end at 11, and then we'll maybe come on live again in late afternoon, but I'll try to talk about MMTLP this afternoon.
Listen, I don't talk about that. Kodak, $4.99. Someone just texted.
Yeah, I was just going to tell you, Kodak is above 5. Morty is saying, I guess.
It's above 5. There you go. I just saw it $4.99.
Well, this is 5 minutes ago, so it could be down now. I don't know.
But yeah, I'm just saying. So pay attention. If you bought it, you flip the stock, and you buy. You can buy the 7.5 calls for probably a dime or 15 cents. And, and you got a free shot. Don't look at it. Close your eyes. Maybe one day it opens up at 20, and you make $13.
So a lawyer is pointing out that doctors are notoriously poor investors. I wonder how lawyers do.
I'm not looking for. Listen,
that's not legal advice saying that about your ZJYL surgeon.
Oh no! I told you didn't know. They took his pants down and raped him right there, and I told him not to do it.
This will only hurt for a minute. This will only be on.
The CEO of Rumble, RUM, I had calls with him. He wanted me to show him the proof. And I told him, just keep dealing with it. You worry about the proof. I told him, good luck. He couldn't believe what they were doing to him. He's lucky he got a reprieve and he squeezed it back up to 7. I don't know where it is today. I don't follow it. It's 649. I'm sorry. There, I see it now.
And
So let me move on to a different stock as I'm educating you about different things. I talked about finger motion. Do your own homework. Watch Williams' video. To me, and this is my opinion, take it with a grain of salt. I've only been studying it for 5 years, 7 days a week for 5 years. All right. This is a layup, the stock. The short, the company has nothing to do with anybody. They're fully funded, tremendous opportunities, and it's just a matter of time before they ramp up their revenue and run these guys dead. What did my friend Rob tell you about revenue and earnings, William?
well,
What had happened?
he said revenue, cash flow, but once earnings turn positive, short sellers run away like rats off a sinking ship. He didn't use those words, but they just run away like it's the devil.
They don't control it. They have nothing to do with it anymore, and they're dead. And you know what? Finger motion is at that door right now. So these guys can keep playing. I wish I had $1 million. I don't have the money because I'd be here buying it all day long and saying, screw you. That's what I'd be doing. Even Benchmark, those frauds, even did a report. Benchmark is tied to Lynn Capital. They're tied to those idiots. They even said it's worth $5. Who's selling it at $2.50? That's Lynn Partners. That's their pimp. Lynn Partner. You go to Benchmark, they give you to Lynn. That's how it happened. I asked Finger Motion, how did you find Lynn? Through Benchmark. A broker introduced him to Benchmark. Benchmark brings him to Lynn. Any deals that are done with Lynn, I'm sure I've asked them, KNW, who got them to Lynn? I don't think the CEO called Lynn directly. They probably got to a broker, Benchmark. Benchmark passed them on to Lynn. The broker, Benchmark, all made a nice little profit. Lynn comes in and destroys it, and that's how it works. There you go. Like I said, even those thieves gave it a $5 target. The thieves gave it a $5 target.
Unbelievable.
And they mark it down
Unbelievable.
every day. And the reason they're marking it down every day is not to give you a better price, is because they need us to sell. They're fishing, looking for people to sell. That's what they're doing. But the people that I know that own 99 3/4% of the whole stock know what's going on. And then people say, why don't they buy more? They do. Listen, if you buy 5,000 a day, it's 25 a week, it's 100 a month, right?
Yeah.
100 a month in a year's time is $1 million too, right?
Do you think these sellers use algorithmic trading, computers?
Yes, but I don't think it is in finger motion. It's so penny. It's such, the short in this stock is so childish. It's like, it's like we got a monkey on the other side
I
of this
see.
thing.
Yeah.
I think Lynn Partners has Charlie Mayo putting the orders in. For those who don't know Charlie Mayo, he's the stooge in GTII for the Kramers.
He's the one that'll give up to
Lynn.
the FBI.
Yeah, he belongs to. He'll put him in jail. They're not going to support him.
He doesn't come from the same background. Well, it just family. I mean, the other two are brothers. They're not going to turn each other in. These are the numbers Kit put up. ZJYL goes to 16. And if that dollar price is correct, they're $6 billion underwater. Who would keep allowing that to continue? Citadel? I don't think anyone will allow that.
But you are showing us the number. You're planning ahead, right?
Right. He is. Yeah.
Prime brokers, people that support the short sellers, they know stocks go against them every once in a while, right? They have that, whoever is whoever's in control, whoever's the overseer of the short sellers, or the risk manager, he knows the game. He's a short seller himself.
Right.
If I was doing it, if I was the controller or the risk manager, I'd be in a panic because I'm not a short seller. Oh my God, you got to cover. We're going to get killed here. And you know what? These guys know the game. They have the lawyers, and they know that the government is allowing them to keep flooding it, right?
Right.
They get blown when they do get blown out. Trust me. But these guys, they get blown out, 3% of the time, and 97% of the time they make money. So the risk manager is someone who's a short seller that looks at this position and says, okay, it's bearable, until it's not, and that's when they lose the money.
Vincent says he predicted on Ace is the place that ZJYL would hit $15 today. All right, Vincent, we'll see if you're right.
Vincent, I hope so. Remember, people, ZJYL is tied to what stock? Do I have to make a note of that? Pay attention.
GDC.
There you go.
Oh, it's 2 billion. So it's 5 billion underwater. Whatever. It's close enough to ask the question, Kit. It's the point is, my point is, no back office is going to let it get out of control. 5 billion's a lot of money. It might not be enough.
Oh my God, dude. Just go look at the Wall Street Journal when they say people investing 1 billion. They give it a top storyline in the Wall Street Journal. 1 billion. Imagine losing 5 billion.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking devastation.
This guy's saying Reddit is doing an IPO. I didn't know that, but
Reddit's doing an IPO. You ready?
Yeah.
For everybody on this call, they're gonna pump it up and make it sound like it's the greatest thing for the retail investor. All right?
Right.
And then they're gonna fucking destroy it. Because there's no way in God's earth, on this earth, they're gonna let retail have the voice to expose all the criminals, right?
Right.
It's a message board. It's worthless. They will destroy it. But first, they're going to take all the retail's money. So for anyone who thinks they're going to invest in it and make money, look elsewhere, because you're going to walk into a trap. There's no way they're going to allow Reddit to expose all the criminals on Wall Street, because that's what it's doing, right? It's nothing else. What else does it do?
Yeah, you're right. That's probably why they're IPOing it, so they can own it.
They're going to destroy you. They're going to go an IPO at 7, open it at 12. Everyone says, oh my God, Reddit, you're going to turn around in 6 months, it's going to be $1.
And they'll own it, so they can control the content. Maybe.
They don't want Reddit exposing anything. Reddit is supposedly, quote, exposing the short problem in GameStop and AMC. That's all bullshit. They did nothing.
This guy, Kyle, I guess Sarah Connor's son. Anyway, Kyle is pointing out that he made some money in EVA and VLCN this week, but he's rooting for ZJYL, GDC, Finger.
Listen. Again, trade everything. You make money doing
exactly.
Anything. I mean, I'm not. Exactly. Listen, I can sit here and give you 50 names. I'm not doing it because I don't want to repeat all day long to you. It's not my job.
Well, that's a good. Maybe you can talk about that. I can't find the post, but it was before you came on. One guy said, "Shoot, I sold ZJYL to buy Finger," and my point was, it's all right. Yeah, but anyway, maybe he's having regrets. Maybe you can talk to that.
Well, listen, I didn't even buy ZJYL, and I talk about it every day. I'm wasting my fucking time teaching you guys about this. I didn't make any money. I don't regret. I don't have a regret about it. I'm helping. My regret is that I'm helping you guys out. I want to help you guys out. I didn't have to talk about it.
Exactly.
You don't feel bad about it. You move on to the next one. You can't win on every goddamn trade. Get used to it. I didn't even buy it. I can talk about it more than you'll ever talk about it.
And if one or two of these trades work for everybody else, but not for me, for example, it might help some of the stocks we're trading. Who knows?
Listen, we're here to expose the fraud. If it gets exposed in ZJYL, the Chinese people are going to make a fortune, not me. But you want to know something? It shows the world what we're saying. So let it be. So that's what am I supposed to say?
Well, Sounds like a Beatles song.
Let me go through some of this shit here.
All right, do it.
Again, KNW, you have to be criminally insane if you do own the stock. Nothing about the company. It's the company could be the greatest company. The CEO could be, the greatest guy. He could be the Pope for all I know. I have no idea. Could be great. They could be curing whatever the hell they do. But the stock as an instrument for you to make money has the devil in there. There's nothing else to say. That's my opinion of it. Good luck.
What price did they do the deal? What price was the stock when you were aware of the deal?
I got aware of it the other day. I didn't really do a deep dive, but whatever it is, it's going lower.
It's at its lows now.
I think it started in January, where I bet you they spoke with each other because the stock was up at $1 something.
Right.
It went straight down. So I assume that's when they stocks don't fall off a cliff just like that for no reason, right?
Right.
So I guarantee you the call happened in January. It took a couple of months. These guys were shorting it, driving it down, testing the waters out. Then they gave them the money.
Right.
And now you got the press release, the wonderful press release. Everything is great. We have money. The CEO, I look for the CEO to come out with a great press release shortly because, Lynn's going to tell him, hey, man, you got to give us some good news. We invested in you. And the CEO is going to come out, oh, our clinical trials, we just, enrolled, whatever. And the stock will pop and Lynn will just destroy it then. Because they want buyers to come into the stock because they want to sell it, right?
Right.
So, it looks to me like it's a complete trap. It's all set up. When do those events happen? Let's wait and see if they do.
Okay.
Right? The CEO is going to help his own ass.
Right.
But he signed a deal with the devil. So let's move on. What was I going to talk about? TELO. William met my friend. He knows the guy that bought the million shares, the whole float. The guy bought the whole float. Since it's been public in 15 or 18 days, they've created and naked shorted 1 million shares. So a guy who owned 100% of the float now only owns 50% of the float, right?
Mm-hmm.
They created a whole new float. Do you think the guy who bought the million shares is thrilled that these guys created this whole new position?
Mm-hmm.
Did he ask for that? So now we have a guy that's short 1 million shares. Everyone that's around this name knows what's going on. The company had a quiet period. It means they couldn't say anything. This was an IPO, my friends. They're working on some sort of medication to enhance your life, make you live a better life. I've heard that they've been in talks with Amgen or people related to Amgen, whatever it may be. I don't know the exact term I can use. They said that it works tremendously on pets and that the first attack is not going to the FDA. It's going to be in the pet market. They said that's worth $10 billion, that market. Yet somebody keeps trying to sell it and hold it down. They don't even let the stock just started trading. They don't even let it go up. They started too early. They trapped themselves. It already had a short squeeze from 6 to 23, and I reported it on the Williams phone before it happened. Correct, William?
Yeah, you did.
So to me, this is something you need to keep an eye on. I only hope that for my dogs and for myself and my family and your family, that these guys have something that could help extend your life and keep you healthy. Who would want to fucking destroy companies that say that? They're doing it in, this, whatever it is, this KNW. They do, you're seeing it right in front of you. And I think that they're going to get carried out because I think the people, this is a super small float stock and there's nobody here. And the people that are accumulating it are pretty bright and wealthy people. So we'll see what happens there. That's about the extent that I know about it. Again, people I know the gentleman that bought the whole thing. That is 100% a fact. And the brokerage firm that brought it public is saying the naked shorts are coming out of Canada. Ooh, we all know that. All right, so you know about TELO. Okay, I'm told to keep an eye on it because the news flow should be coming out. Oh, this is one thing that he did say, that the TELO, that John Hopkins is doing all the testing. Is that what you call it, William? Testing, I guess, right?
There's a term they use. Yeah, it is
All the
testing.
trials.
Trials. That's it. Trials. Yeah.
It's impossible for John Hopkins to take you on if you're a piece of shit. They're not going to waste their time doing trials on something that doesn't have some sort of benefits already. So I guess they'll take it to the next level with John Hopkins. So if John Hopkins is your partner, I think that is a pretty solid partner to have, right? But you know, guys like the Kramers and Lynn Partners, they know better. Those people know better, or the guys short in Canada, they know better. So again, that's just a matter of time before it goes. All right. Remember, ZJYL goes, GDC is going to follow. All right. Smart people bought that. I'm not that smart. I bought it for my family at $3.80 and $3.64 too. And we're, you know, and I consider myself pretty smart, but not that smart, right? I'm upside down.
Nobody else does.
But I'm willing to watch it and wait and see it pan out. All right. Because I know the people that are behind it, that are buying it. And I think that they're comfortable and they're not happy they're down $1, you know, but that's the way it goes. Trigger motion, I described to you what I think. I think that's a lock. Kodak, I think if it breaks 5, you can get the next leg, maybe back up to 60. Last time was the squeeze there. 1.5 billion shares short there. I got the data on that. What else? Talked about Etsy. What else? Mullen still getting destroyed. I still don't understand Wolf at $1.76. Bitcoin's almost at 70,000. I thought Wolf was I met the people at Wolf. I was at a presentation with them. They are the people that started Riot and they started Mara, M-A-R-A. They have a new company, Wolf. The whole thing about Bitcoin mining is the power source. These guys built nuclear power plants. The guys that were in charge of this company. They have the cheapest electric power possible. And the stock never goes up. I don't understand it, but that's what it is. Maybe one day you wake up and it's $30. I don't understand it, but that's what they do. They don't do anything else. They don't build homes. They have no cure for cancer. They mine Bitcoins and they use nuclear power. GTII, the company needs to do something to address it, build the business out. Everything else is well documented. If the FBI, Secret Service, DOJ, SEC, the Canadian Mounted Police, anyone steps in to finally do something, be massive winners. Did I lose you, William?
Yeah, no. We're listening.
So again, the company needs to do something, build a business, open up a comic book store, make comic books, sell bubble gum, do anything. And this way we could take the stigma of the company not, having a real business away. And then you can focus back on, the Alpine, the DTC. Everybody knows the criminals are here. When Alpine finally does get the hammer, the next thing is they have to start looking inside that building on what's going on. Hold on one second, William. Hello.
You're live.
Hello.
You're live. You're live.
Hold on a second.
You're live. All right, let's go. Thank you.
Yeah, William, I'm sorry.
It's all right.
And,
You've got 3 minutes before 11 o'clock. I'm sure you have to drive to your lunch.
My lunch is at 1.
All right. Somebody's asking you about Alpine and GTI. You were talking
They
about.
were asking me about my what I'm having for lunch. But yeah, what's the question about Alpine?
It's just, do you have any comment about when Alpine will be finished?
Pretty smart guys. I don't know a lot of GTI and finger motion. Called me the other day and told me that there's something out there that basically gave them the death blow already. So we're just waiting for it to show up. I called Richard, not legal advice. He checked Pacer to see if we're looking for the information, and I'm waiting for those gentlemen to get back to me, but they're pretty
Somebody's
confident
asking you about, several people are asking you about, are we going to South Korea? And I'd say
Yes,
the
we
answer
are.
is yes, but I just don't know
Yes.
when.
I
don't.
sent William, you read my email. If you
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
read my email to them, you could actually read it.
He's,
I put it
Ham
in
is trying to secure appointments. Otherwise, it's not worth going. So,
Well, with the appointment was with the regulators themselves, where they actually came out the other day, and they're
Mhm.
looking for expansion to grow their markets. So I gave them the perfect expansion product, which would be let's get all the U.S. companies to leave the U.S. to go list on their equity markets. And William, if you get a chance, read them my email to the regulators. All right, I was told who I was told to send it to. By the way, I just didn't throw a dart. And that has been sent to them, and you can read it to them. Read exactly what I wrote, and that was sent out
All
2
right.
days ago. And as soon as I could secure that, I gave them the opportunity to reach back out and get it done.
Uh-huh.
Anything else, William?
What are you setting your GT, not you personally, but what would you set your GTC orders to sell in ZJYL? That's a constant question. Nobody quite. My
So
answer would
when
be,
you
let's
don't-
see how it trades above 15. But
When you don't know, you need to just make a sale, lock in some profits, and then with whatever you have left, your position, you can just then you could just have fun and let it go, because all
Right.
your risk is off the table.
right.
Finger motion, I know everything about it, every gory detail, so I have no fear of not even worrying about that. It's very different. DTII, we need the company to actually do something and then that will take away a lot of the risk in the stock. But right now they haven't done anything, so we're waiting for, obviously we have the most proof because of the NSCC's press on the lawsuit. It's in the documents that they have a concentrated short position in GTII, which, by the way, is never, ever. There's not one. Everyone on this phone, go find me a document where they're telling you the name of the firm. Goldman Sachs is short, Shopify, and they mismarked all their sell tickets in Shopify, and they drove the stock down. You'll never see that because the liability is enormous. But GTII, you have it right in front of you.
All right. So it's 11 o'clock, and I would suggest that we should just hang up. And
Listen, I'll give you a call. If you go back on later, go back on around 2:30.
All right. Okay.
I'll call you after my meeting with the attorney
Okay.
and give you an update on what he's working on, and we can get other information. But again,
Okay.
the stocks, finger motion, I believe, in my opinion, it's a lock. I believe the company is worth 100 without a short squeeze.
They
That's
got
my opinion.
ZJYL that back down to 1008 bid, 1018 ask on 491.
Listen, it's gonna bounce back and forth. That's how they do it.
All right.
We all want it to go straight up to 100 and have a party and go home and go find another one. That's how it works. So again, you remember, there's no way, there's no options, there's no way for these guys to cover the battlefield is right in front of you. You all get to see it. Just remember that now they were short 10 million and the company waved the wand, multiplied it times 20, which was a great, great trick. I loved it.
Right.
All right. That was, the company probably had to do that because the NASDAQ told them they needed to get more shareholders. And it wasn't the fault of the company. Is the stock was trading at $250. Not many people are going to buy it, and you have to have 100 shares to be considered a shareholder. So people like William were buying 18 shares, 20 shares, and they weren't counted as shareholders. But what? No, listen, baby.
I'm a big investor. I'm a Rockefeller.
But again, the forward split now has helped the company solve that problem. but it also created a monster problem. Not a problem, a monster problem, because the short sellers are now stuck.
Yeah.
And for a guy that was short 10 million, all of a sudden wakes up and now he's short 200 million. And they tried to break it last week. They drove it down to 6. Think about it. It went down to 6. They were pushing it down. It was the end of the world. It turned in 3 days. It's back up to almost 11. That's a big turn there, my friends.
10:01 to 10:13, 498,257 shares. That's
Just
pretty good
remember,
for an hour and a
everyone,
half.
just remember this. It's pretty easy.
A kiss is just a kiss.
If they thought they can win, they let the stocks go higher. They can't win. So you could see how they try to manipulate it down as fast as possible.
That's right.
That's because they're in trouble. They're not doing it to give you a better price. They push it down because they're in a panic. Longs don't buy stocks at 9. And when it gets to 10.5, say, hey, do me a favor, sell it back down to 9 for me. People don't trade like that. Criminals are doing this. And they're here to mess with you. That's what they do.
That's right.
They want to drive it back down fast, make you sell, then they turn around and buy it back up. And you say, come on, what do you think? What do you think? We're stupid? Who does that? Well, go look at NVIDIA. Look at the swings in that stock. They bashed it down yesterday at 834. Where is it today, William? I think I saw it at 870, I think. I'm not even sure where it is now. It looks like it's marching to 1,000. That's what it looks like it's doing.
Makes sense to me. Last trade on
Every time they
NVIDIA,
bash it down, it comes back stronger.
884.
Right.
And I don't know what today's high was.
And it was
I don't know.
830. It was $830 yesterday. They were bashing it down. I turned around, it was back up on the day. So do you think longs are racing?
It almost hit 890 today. I don't know exact figures.
So it looks like, it's funny, Wall Street has a way with stocks. They always march to a big number. Like it was $8.90. It looks like it's marching.
Right.
You know, it was 13.80 going towards 14. It's going towards 15. It goes to these numbers. It's just weird like that. I don't know why, but that's what it does.
Yeah.
So that stock looks like it's marching to 1,000.
1006,
And
1019.
if you're Fidelity and you own, tons of NVIDIA, why not buy another couple of million shares and drive it high and kill the shorts and then get it to 1,000? You can make sales there. Longs do that too. They torture the shorts. We can't do it because we're not institutions. Institutions come into our names when they're breaking out.
All right, last
They're
question.
going to come into.
Sorry, I cut you off. Finish.
I forgot. Yeah, I
You were
forgot.
saying institutions.
Institutions come in when finger motion starts breaking 10, going to $15. That's when the funds are going to come in, piling in, and they'll take it to 50. That's how they operate.
What will motivate them to buy back ZJYL with that massive short?
Well, in the back office, if anyone's ever been to a hockey game, when they score a goal, the red light goes on. It goes, makes this big noise. Well, that light on a submarine where they're yelling, dive, danger, danger.
Dive.
That red light goes on, and it's called margin. And people have to start putting up more capital, more. If you were putting up at $6, you were putting up $10 a share in margin money, right? The prime broker demands you put up money based on the risk. Well, the stock is 10 now. Do you think they're saying, hey, $10 is sufficient? No, they're going to make you put up 20 now.
Right.
And that's what kills these guys. They got to keep putting up money. You can only hide this mess for a little while, unless you have a prime broker like Alpine. And I don't believe Alpine is allowing people to short ZJYL. So whoever's doing it, maybe it's Jefferies, they're starting to say, okay, guys, you need more capital in here. And at any given time, someone could, if there's someone short 1 million shares, there's now short 20 million shares who doesn't have the capital, not as big as the next player. He's sitting there saying, hey, we got to get bought in. We can't do this anymore. And that's how these guys start to break.
All right. Well, I have to go walk my dog, so
all right, I'll speak to you later.
It'll be a short one this morning. All right. Thank you, Ham.
Call ended.
All right, everybody. I'm going to end it because I do have to walk my dog. I expected fireworks this morning, maybe because of the pre-market action. I still think ZJYL at 499,455 shares, bid 1018, ask 1025, could run today based on the pre-market. But maybe it has to wait till tomorrow morning. But maybe it's, you know, sometime in the future. It certainly bears monitoring. And I forget some of the other questions that didn't get answered, but Ham said come back on at 2:30. Sounds good to me. I don't expect to have anything interfering with that. So we can get to some of those other questions. I'm not trying to avoid any questions, but I'm not going to take any questions. I'm not going to take any questions anymore if they get me upset, because people make fun of me on Twitter when I quote unquote melt down. And one thing people don't like in life is being made a fool of, especially in front of all the beautiful women on this channel. And the guys too. All right. Let's see any last questions? Donna M. I'm sorry you have a stomach. That's not good, but it'll pass. I didn't mean that as a joke. Yeah, ZJYL is exciting. And if I had to summarize what Ham is saying, try to get your original money off the table and see what happens with the rest. I was unable to see HNRC. I sent him an email. I believe I called into him, but I just can't remember. I tried to. I just don't remember if I left a message or not. I've done it before, so that's why I'm confused. I never heard back. And I think HNRC is a virtual company, so that maybe they don't have I don't know, they don't have a real presence on the ground in Houston. I'll keep trying to follow up with them. To all the girls I've loved before, in and out of all their drawers, I'm glad we had the time. This is to all the girls I've loved before. All right. I'll try to sing that later. I'm not remembering the words. Going in and out their drawers. Glad we had the time. All right, that's it. I'm going to call it at 11:11, and we'll see each other later. And cheers.